Well, son, since you haven't learned to respect your elders, it's time you learn to respect your betters.
Interesting facts about famous people.
John Wayne, most common supporting actors. Who do you think are the actors that played in John Wayne's movies in supporting roles the most? Let's take a look today at a selection where the actor is credited. Some may surprise you. If you enjoyed this video, hit the notification button to get my new videos. If you want to check out my many other videos, head over to my channel. The link is in the description. Let's get into it. Marie Windsor, 3 films. John Wayne and Windsor did 3 films together. 1949's The Fighting Kentuckian, 1953's Trouble Along the Way, and 1973's Cahill U.S. Marshal. Windsor always said Wayne was really nice to work with. She really enjoyed working with him. She was comfortable on a horse and knew how to twirl a gun. Christopher Mitchum, 3 films. Mitchum appeared in 3 movies with John Wayne in the motion pictures Chisholm, 1970, Rio Lobo, 1970, and Big Jake, 1971. Christopher Mitchum is the second son of actor Robert Mitchum, destined, like older brother James Mitchum, to follow in the footsteps of his famous dad. John Doucette, 3 films. Big Jake, 1971, as Buck Dugan, True Grit, 1969, as Sheriff, The Sons of Katie Elder, 1965, as Heiselman the Undertaker. Stocky, balding character actor with a rich, deep voice, equally adept at Western bad guys and Shakespeare. He began his career in films in minor roles, primarily as gangland henchman, and progressed to become widely familiar as a figure in a variety of dramas and occasional comedies. Ben Johnson, 4 films. Ben Johnson made 4 films with John Wayne. The second and third of director John Ford's Cavalry trilogy, She Wore a Yellow Ribbon in 1949 and Rio Grande in 1950. 1969 and 1970 saw the two working together again with director Andrew McLaughlin in The Undefeated, which also starred Rock Hudson. And Chisholm. Ben Johnson was a ranch hand and a radio performer when, in 1940, Howard Hughes hired him to take horses to California. He decided to stick around. The pay was good, and for some years was a stuntman, horse wrangler, and double for such stars as John Wayne and Gary Cooper. Vera Miles, 4 films. The Searchers, The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, The Green Berets, Hellfighters. Born in Oklahoma, Vera Miles attended school in Pratt, Kansas, and Wichita, Kansas. The patrician beauty of Miss Miles won her the title of Miss Kansas in 1948, leading soon to small roles in Hollywood films and television series. Maureen O'Hara, 5 films. Maureen O'Hara and John Wayne starred in 5 films together, the first 3 of which were directed by John Ford. Rio Grande, 1950, The Quiet Man, 1952. Although they were never married, John Wayne and Maureen O'Hara had their own version of a love affair, keeping up a strong friendship throughout their careers. In The Quiet Man, their on-screen chemistry was so strong, it made the film an instant classic. They were just as passionate friends off-screen, though it never strayed into an affair, as some claim. John Agar, 6 films. Fort Apache, She Wore a Yellow Ribbon, Sands of Iwo Jima, The Undefeated, Chisholm, Big Jake. Victor McLaglen, 7 films. McLaglen and Wayne appeared in 7 movies together, all directed by John Ford. Rambunctious British leading man, contrary to popular belief, he was of Scottish ancestry, not Irish, and later character actor, primarily in American films. Victor McLaglen was a vital presence in a number of great motion pictures, especially those of director John Ford. Ken Curtis, 7 films. Curtis was a regular in John Ford's films, including 7 classic John Wayne films: Rio Grande, 1950, The Quiet Man, 1952, The Searchers, 1956, The Wings of Eagles, 1957, The Horse Soldiers, 1959, and How the West Was Won, 1962. I'd fly up the river. Curtis also appeared with Wayne in The Alamo, 1960. Patrick Wayne, 7 films. Possessing his father's durable good looks, vigour and charm, this tall, strapping, exceedingly handsome second son of John Wayne had huge boots to fill in trying to escape his legendary father's shadow and corral Hollywood fame on his own terms. The Searchers, 1956, The Alamo, 1960, The Comancheros, 1961, Donovan's Reef, 1963, McClintock, 1963, The Green Berets, 1968, Big Jake, 1971. Walter Brennan appeared in 7 movies together: Rio Bravo, Red River, How the West Was Won, Dakota, Babyface, Texas Cyclone, and Two-Fisted Law. In many ways the most successful and familiar character actor of American sound films, and the only actor to date to win 3 Oscars for Best Supporting Actor. Hank Warden, 17 films. John Wayne and Hank Warden have starred together in The Searchers, Red River, The Alamo, Cahill U.S. Marshal, Big Jake, Rio Lobo, Chisholm, True Grit, Hondo, McClintock, The Horse Soldiers, 3 Godfathers, Fort Apache, Angel and the Bad Man, and several other uncredited appearances. Only a couple of other actors had a bigger number of roles with Wayne. He played mainly in westerns, in comic or rustic roles. He was raised on a cattle ranch near Glendive, Montana. Ward Bond, 23 films. Gruff, burly character actor, born in 1903 in Nebraska. Bond grew up in Denver. Bond and Wayne worked together since the beginning. Some examples of westerns they made together are Rio Bravo, The Searchers, Tall in the Saddle, The Big Trail, 3 Girls Lost, Dakota, 3 Godfathers, Fort Apache, and many more westerns and non-westerns. Paul Fix, 26 films. Fix made it onto this list because of the sheer number of times he appeared in John Wayne films. He first started on Wayne films in 1942 as a mine operator in Pittsburgh, finishing with a role as Old Man, which I guess he was by then, in Cahill U.S. Marshal. Just some westerns he appeared in with Wayne were Tall in the Saddle, Dakota, Angel and the Bad Man, Red River, She Wore a Yellow Ribbon, The Fighting Kentuckian, Hondo, The Sons of Katie Elder, El Dorado, The Undefeated, How the West Was Won, and more western and non-western movies. Yakima Canutt, 32 films. Their first film was The Hurricane Express in 1932. The last movie that Yakima Canutt and John Wayne starred in together was Meanwhile, Back at the Ranch in 1976. Most movies were uncredited. Some other westerns they appeared in together are Dark Command, Rio Bravo, Stagecoach. Starting out as a rodeo cowboy and then becoming a stuntman in silent westerns, Yakima later doubled for such stars as Clark Gable and John Wayne, in such dangerous activities as jumping off the top of a cliff on horseback, leaping from a stagecoach onto its runaway team. Chuck Robertson, 32 films. John Wayne worked with actor and stuntman Chuck Robertson as an actor and stunt double. Just some of the movies they did together: Cahill, U.S. Marshal, Big Jake, Rio Lobo, Chisholm, The Undefeated, The War Wagon, El Dorado, The Sons of Katie Elder, and many more. A stuntman who also played minor roles in scores of movies. Raised on cattle ranches in New Mexico, he left school at 13 to become a cowhand and oil-filled roughneck.
Hell, get out of my way.
Of course, there are many more actors who starred in John Wayne westerns. Wayne was a prolific maker of westerns in particular, his stock in trade. Just a few more actors that shared the screen with him more than a few times were Edgar Buchanan, Jack Pennick, and Arthur Honeycutt. If you like this video, I may follow up with another. Thank you for your time today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comments. I appreciate likes and subscribers. Hit the notification bell to get my new videos. Take a look at my channel. The link is in the description. Bye for now. See you again soon.
Interesting facts about famous people.